Hi, welcome to Career Quest. My name is Carlos Edwards, and I have an amazing guest with me today. Some of you can even say that this is my better half. Welcome, Veronica Edwards, to our show this morning.
Thank you, honey, for having me here today.
Oh man, no problem, no problem. What a pleasure, what a pleasure, man.
Yeah.
So, you know, take the time out right now to kind of tell me a little bit about yourself. I know you, but our viewers that are, tuning in, they don't really know you. So, what's your background? Where are you from? All that,
Yes.
good stuff.
Well, like you said, I'm Veronica Edwards. I am a
Hmm.
certified public accountant and I own my business, Balance Virtually LLC. We are officially 7 years old, but I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. And
BK,
yes, up top. And then I grew up in Somerville, South Carolina. And
nice.
so I went to UNC Charlotte from 2000 to 2004. I can't believe that. 25 years
Wow.
ago is when I moved to Charlotte. And then I went and got my master's at Georgia Southern, a master's in accounting. And when I
Hmm.
came back from Georgia Southern a year or two later, I met you, honey. Uh,
Wow. That is true.
so,
She did.
and in 2 days, we'll be celebrating our 16-year wedding anniversary. So I think
Wow.
that's cool that we've had this full circle moment because I do have a podcast, The Veronica Edwards Show. And so it is cool
Plug.
that you have a podcast in affiliation with Goodwill. And I love it. And it's all about entrepreneurship. And that's what my podcast is about. And just with Balance Virtually, just helping small business owners,
Mm.
especially, my jam, minority owned businesses, women owned businesses, people of
Yes.
color,
Yes.
nonprofits that have a specific mission that I'm passionate about. So I've been very blessed and lucky that I've been able to find my passion and
Hmm.
find that love again for accounting as an entrepreneur.
Oh man, for sure, for sure. Man, I love that, man. So what made you, make that choice to say, you know what, I'm going to leave my whole, career path, my job that's making pretty good money,
Good money.
good money. I'm
Real
going to leave that
good.
money and I'm going to start my own business. Like, what was the
Yes.
catalyst? Like, what
Yep.
was the push?
Well, for some years, I was thinking about it because, as
Hmm.
anyone that knows me knows that I never kept a job more than 3 years. And I was moving Carlos all over the place with me.
Oh man, everywhere.
So we were in Charlotte, we were in
uh,
Milwaukee, Wisconsin, we were
very
in
true.
Greenville, South Carolina. And when we decided to come to Asheville, Carlos kind of put his foot down and said, "You've been moving me all these places. I want to have a say on where we move next." And Carlos loves off roading and his
Yeah.
Jeep and all those things. So we settled on Asheville. And at the time, our soon to be 10-year-old son
Hmm.
was just a year and a half. And so I found what seemed to be an amazing job,
Yes.
making six figures, like you said, great bonuses, supervising all these stuff, the most responsibility and income that I had. And I was miserable. Like I remember crying going to work the
Mm.
first day and you and CJ was home. And I was like, oh, it's not supposed to feel like this. And
Oh
so
man.
that kind of started that for me back in 2016. But
Hmm.
prior to that, I was working for a small business owner. And I was like, if this guy can do it, I think I could do it. But I was still scared.
Right,
And
for
I'm a
sure.
corporate girl. I always had a job where I had benefits. And
Hmm.
I know I'm getting paid every week or every other week. And I come from a family of very financially responsible people. So
Big
I could
facts.
not end a job making all this money just because I wasn't happy. We come from parents at that
Hmm.
generation
Oh
where
yeah.
you figure it out.
You don't leave a job.
You don't leave a job
That's
unless you
right.
have another job.
Yeah.
And so, November 2017, as you know, Tanya, my sister,
Oh.
died by suicide. And
Mm.
so that catapulted me to go ahead and start my business. I already had a business bank account with $500 in it. I had all the stuff in play, but I was scared. And
Wow.
so that really pushed me to go for my passion, to figure out what is that passion. But I knew it wasn't continuing to work a 9 to 5 corporate job, which nothing's wrong with that.
Hmm.
But I knew over the 13 years that I was working and bouncing jobs that I was the common denominator and I wanted to invest in myself. So in January 2018
Mm.
was when I officially say that I launched Balance Virtually.
Okay.
And you've been
Yeah.
along that ride with me.
That's
We've
right.
gone through our savings. Our parents had to give us money.
Oh
We've
yeah.
had to cash out investments.
Yeah.
But I am happy to say that I've hit six figures with my business now.
Hold up, you did?
And
Bonus.
you know, and
Sorry.
so, and now I have a YouTube page and a podcast,
Yeah,
and I'm speaking on panels and I'm teaching and
yeah,
I coach through Mountain BizWorks. I have small business clients. I'm just doing a lot of things that allowed me to rediscover my love for
yeah.
accounting.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, honey.
I
I
really am.
appreciate it.
So, you kind of touched on this earlier, but like I know some people are, they're kind of like tuning in and they're like, hey, what kind of educational, background, like what exactly did you have to do in terms of like schooling to get you to this point?
My journey was getting a bachelor's and a master's in accounting to
Hmm.
allow me to sit for the CPA exam.
Right.
So my course was a little different. You can be an accountant and you don't have to be a CPA. You could be a business owner
Mm-hmm.
and provide accounting services
Mm-hmm.
and not be a CPA. There are other certifications that you can have where you're a QuickBooks certified advisor. I have that too. Or you just
Mm.
have years of experience.
Wow.
But for me, my first job out of college was with PricewaterhouseCoopers, and they are an accounting firm. They're one of they call them the big four.
Yes.
There's four big CPA firms in the world. PricewaterhouseCoopers is one of them. They required that we had to sit for the CPA. And once you got to a senior level position after 3 or 4 years, you were expected to pass the CPA. So
Wow.
that started my course. Of course, I left PricewaterhouseCoopers, and when was that? Right before CJ was born. So in 2014
Mm-hmm.
is when I passed my CPA. So I'm 11 years old as a CPA, and my business is 7 years old.
Wow. That's awesome, man. Um, so what is the best advice that you actually received when you
Mm.
chose to go into this whole field?
Definitely to just be a sponge. Listen
Hmm.
to the people who've been doing it the longest. I've bounced around a lot.
Yeah.
So in corporate, you'll get somebody that's like, well, this is what we did at my other company. And then they want to implement that. But
Mm-hmm.
I've learned in accounting, don't change too much that first year because everything is cyclical. So you want to see, well, that's the reason why they did this in December. It only happens once a year. This is the
Mm.
reason why we do this monthly. So I would say, don't think that you know everything.
Right.
In accounting, you have to understand the business to really understand the flow of things. So I would say that was great advice for me to just always have a notebook, take notes, and ask
Mm.
questions.
Wow. Okay. Nice. Interesting. So, um, one last question, just to kind of like throw this out there. So, what do you tell yourself when something goes wrong? When things
Ooh,
aren't
that's every
going,
day.
the way that you want them to go, right?
Yes.
What do you tell yourself to kind of keep yourself like on that path,
Mm-hmm.
like staying focused, all like
Yep.
that?
You know, it's a roller coaster. Being an
Hmm.
entrepreneur, there's going to be good days, there's going to be great days,
Yes.
but there's going to be some hard days too. Because at the end of the day, you're the boss, you're the employee, you're the everything for your business.
Mm.
But I wouldn't want it any other way. I'm investing in myself and I'm investing in my community. So I just tell myself, you know, breathe through it. Like
For
you have
sure.
to have stumbling blocks. Some people might call failures in order
Hmm.
to succeed. So I've now gotten better about when I do have those rough days. I'm looking
Hmm.
forward to the next day because I know it's going to be better. But I know I needed that to get to the next level. So I would just tell people to stay encouraged and surround yourself around positive people. Being married to you, having the family that we have, everybody encouraged me. If
Yes,
everybody's telling me every day I can't do it, that makes it harder too. So
for
I'm
sure.
always trying to feed myself with positivity, if it's through podcasts, listening to music, burning my incense that gets on your nerves at times, my essential oils, just setting the vibe for
Yeah,
positivity.
for
And
sure.
everybody has their own thing, but definitely find something that's just for you that gets you back to, well, why am I doing this? And
Yes.
I'm passionate about what I do, so it's very easy. So the people make it easy for me. When I have folks that say, Veronica, I took your class, that's helped me grow my business. Or I listened to your podcast and the advice that you gave really helped me personally and professionally.
Mm.
That is
Wow.
everything that keeps me going on
Wow.
days when I'm kind of running on empty.
Wow, man. Well, I can go on and on and on and ask like so many more questions, but that is all the time that we have today
Oh,
here at Career Quest. I just want
yes.
to say thank you again to Veronica Edwards for, choosing to come
Thank you.
out here and join us, even though she has a really busy schedule and she does a lot, wears like multiple hats and all like that. And also shout out to her amazing husband, myself, for taking the time out to, interview you. No, no, I'm kidding. But thank you guys so much again for joining us. And I hope you guys can just take what you've learned and apply it to your next future endeavors. Thank you again and take care.